Are you doing OMAD the right way or the wrong way? Well, I got news for you. There is no right way and wrong way. So thanks for clicking on the video. But a lot of people have opinions about OMAD. And you know what opinions are like? They're like buttholes, because a lot of people have buttholes too. But let me tell you two ways that you can be doing OMAD in terms of what you eat. And it's completely flexible about how you want to do it. The first way we talk about is what's called cheat OMAD or maybe dirty OMAD. This is the fun way, right? This is where you eat all the types of food that you love eating, but you only eat once a day. I often find this is where people go and use the fast food option. This type of OMAD is really high calorie typically, but usually because you're only having one genuine meal a day, the calories are still lower than you would have typically been eating in 3 or 4 square meals a day. So therefore, you can maintain a caloric deficit, although it is a little bit more challenging. The reason that's challenging is pretty obvious. Most people know that fast food is higher in fat, higher in sugar, higher in salt, so you come back and keep eating it. But it tastes bloody good. The other thing to think about if you're going to do cheat OMAD or dirty OMAD is the cost. If you're eating fast food all the time, the cost will rise. The cost will be hard to keep control of. Sure, it's convenient, so just be careful that you watch the calories, and if you're conscious of the cost, maybe dirty OMAD's not for you. The other option is often referred to as clean OMAD, which is basically just eating cleaner options in your one meal a day. Sometimes this is just your typical evening meal if you're doing OMAD in the evening. This is your typical dinner, right? You would have a good portion of vegetables, a good portion of lean protein, have some healthy fats, but typically it's those typical health foods that we all know about: vegetables, salads, rice, pasta, having low fat foods, having low processed foods. That's the clean OMAD option. This can often be cheaper because you can buy things from the grocery store. You need at least a reasonable level of cooking ability to be able to make a nice rounded meal. But most people can follow instructions on YouTube or online to be able to cook clean, healthy meals. The other option you can still be doing for clean OMAD is pre-prepared meals. Things like your lean cuisines or frozen dinners from the supermarket are a great option. A lot of supermarket delis now are offering fresh food options that are a little bit more convenient, but they aren't as bad for you, if you like, than the typical fast food options. Things like McDonald's and pizza, all those things you'll be putting in the dirty OMAD category. What I like to do, and here's a tip: don't stick to one type of eating. The beauty of OMAD is it's a lifestyle and it naturally helps you restrict calories. I've got a bunch of videos on how to get started with OMAD and how to achieve results. But the best way is to be flexible. Not necessarily flexible with OMAD in terms of fasting. I think it's still important, if you want to be having success, to have as long a fasting window as you can tolerate and a shorter eating window as you can tolerate. Usually one meal, but I'm not even strict on that. But I would recommend having a variety of different foods. So I often have my typical dirty OMAD days would be Friday, maybe Saturday and Sunday on the weekends, because the family is keen for a dirty meal like a takeaway pizza, or perhaps we're going to go out for dinner. So I save my dirty OMAD for certain occasions, and then I try and focus on eating clean OMAD throughout the week. And my motivations are, yes, health, but also cost and also convenience. So there's the things to consider if you're thinking about doing dirty OMAD versus clean OMAD. So it doesn't really matter if you're doing dirty OMAD or clean OMAD, as long as you're trying and you're having some success. That's just my advice. Like I said, everyone's got an opinion. What's yours?